Hello, it is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, so we're going to be solving a crossword with some kind of interesting or intricate theme. That's what happens on Thursday. I always look forward to that. And this interestingly thematic edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Brett Sandman, Lunar Society champion, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They, of course, sustain this channel. They keep it going day in, day out. I'm very grateful to them for that. Thank you to those four and to everybody who supports the channel by way of the Patreon campaign. All of your contributions do make a huge difference to keeping this channel going. Thank you so much to everybody who supports the channel. If you'd like to do so, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link. You'll find bonus videos. And for benefactors like those I've just mentioned, the official mug is, of course, also available. Thanks again to everybody who supports the channel on Patreon. All right, let's get on to today's crossword by Daniel Bodley, who's constructed around a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. This is a Thursday-themed crossword with potentially a particularly complex or interesting theme. We'll find out soon enough, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving. Right, we've got a crossword that is symmetrical about a vertical axis. So we've got, I don't know, it almost looks like there could be some kind of urn or vase illustrated in the grid. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's illustration or if it's just a pattern to facilitate the theme in some way. Oh, did I just, that temporarily established panel, I just sort of happened to click on something that shows the theme. Ad hoc committee or something, I don't know. Actress Green of Casino Royale. Right. Eva or Ava Green? I always forget. Might be Eva? Yes, McGregor, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi, is Ewan, although we have two actors crossing one another, which I'm not the most emphatic fan of. Word before or after open. Open wide or wide open. There we go. Maybe this is ad hoc something, temporarily established panel. Ad hoc group, maybe? Condition that Simone Biles has described as giving her a superpower in brief. ADHD? I'm just thinking of things that could fit that space. Could it be that? What about this? Pulitzer-winning Ferber, Edna Ferber, author, writer. Like some on-air signs, neon signs, potentially. Why not? Output from Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard Entertainment is a video game developer, so their output is video games. Sixth word in the Gettysburg Address. 7 years ago. Gettysburg Address, of course, by President Lincoln. Temporarily established panel. Ad hoc. With an O. Don't know. She was named the U.S. Soccer Female Player of the Year 5 years in a row. Mia Hamm? It has two M's, doesn't it? But also maybe they go with the two M's in committee, and maybe committee goes like farther. Vision? No. I don't know. I'm trying to think. How could I make? Oh, no, it couldn't be ad hoc committee anyway, because it's ad hoc and then an O, not an ad hoc and then CO. Never mind. What about this? Principle of parsimony philosopher. Occam? Something's going on here. Do we double the C? Because this would be Occam as in Occam's razor, I would assume. Principle of parsimony, that would make sense. Maybe we double the C. Ad hoc. And then we would double the M here, and we could make Mia Hamm, who is a sports person of whom I have heard. And then we'd have an I, then a double T here. Mini brawl. Yes, a set to is a small brawl. Okay, so what am I doing, you might be asking, if you've not seen this happen before. There's a rebus function. There's this button rebus, and you can find this on the phone version of the crossword as well. It allows you to enter as many letters as you'd like to a single cell, but we won't enter that many. We'll just enter 2, I think, in each of these. And then you might ask, well, how do you know you're meant to do that? And the answer is you have to get to a point, as I just did, where it just feels like something must have to work in a different way in order to allow what seemed like the correct answers to go into the grid. I just kept seeing things that seemed like they would be right, but they didn't quite fit. And that's a good sign that maybe there's a rebus afoot. So anyway, visionaries are seers. And then correspondence or correspondant fréquemment, frequently in French. Correspondence, frequently in French. Oh, I see. Amis, as in friends, people with whom you might correspond. So not like, journalistic correspondence, but rather just people to whom you might write emails or letters. Epiphanic moments, so moments of epiphany, ahas. And then Excel function would be sort rows. I don't know if that's right. Sort data. I'm not sure. We'll come back to it. Okay, but anyway, we have ad hoc committee, temporarily established panel. So what does this say? All right, major basketball feat, or a feature shared by 3, 6, and 9 down double something. I don't know. Or quadruple double. There are 4 doubles. There's no way that that's right. Should I type it just to see if it... Oh, it does fit. I have no idea what it would mean. It just looks sort of plausible in the context of this crossword. Well, let's see if these letters might work. Pithy, it might be right. Pithy remark is a quip. Leg is to fibula as arm is to ulna, right? So fibula is a leg bone, ulna is an arm bone. Crowning, Acme? I don't think that's right. Sephora competitor. Oh, I've seen this before. This is, Sephora sells cosmetics. Who is this? I can't think. Breaking a tie informally. In overtime, you're breaking a tie by being in overtime. This is sort data. Okay, that's right. Excel function for a spreadsheet. So P in the NATO alphabet is Papa, the International Phonetic Radio Alphabet. Crowning atop, right? If you're crowning crowning something else, it's atop it. And then Ulta, there we go. There's the Sephora competitor. All right. So big thing in California, Big Sur is an area of dramatic beauty. And some hot spots are what? Why can I not see what that is? Fans. And Spiro Agnew, vice president, who resigned in 1973. There we go. Cut and trim, lean, like person's body or meat, I guess. Handle as questions. You could field questions, handle them. Article about a photo. Question mark. What is that getting at? Oh, a frame. An article as in a thing, an object. And it's around a photograph. Okay, fans, buffs, right. Big fans of something or big buffs of that particular interest. So some hot spots are tubs, right, okay, as in a hot bath, a hot tub. Okay, the Titanic disaster partly inspired its invention. Sonar, perhaps, that's interesting. I guess that would make sense. City that's an anagram of Salem, Selma. There we go. Physics or chemistry? Science, no? It would be simply science, but that's not long enough. Farmer's squeeze, the udder of a cow. So physics or subject, not science, but subject. There we go. And the reason I didn't put, say, sciences plural, even though it's 2 things, physics and chemistry, because we're only referring to physics or chemistry. Only a single one of them is one subject. HBO Max is a streaming service whose name has changed several times. I think it's this again. Dining places are hubs? I don't know. NBA great Hakeem, who's one of 4 players ever to achieve a 50 across. I think quadruple double is right. I'm very pleased with myself for landing on that. Isn't there a... I can't think of who I'm trying to think of here. NBA Grady. I might just not know this name at all. Let's look at the crosses on quadruple double. Tuscaloosa's tied. Oh, yeah, this, wow. Haven't seen this in the crossword for a while. Tuscaloosa's tied to fans. Bama, University of Alabama. This used to be clued not infrequently. I mean, it's still not infrequent. It's obviously clued a lot more than most universities. But I know it largely from the crossword, and their what do you call it? Their sort of chant, or their, rallying cry is "Roll Tide." They may be white or naked. White or naked. Ends with an S, I guess. Organization that developed the pumpkin suit. Is it NASA? Is that some kind of spacesuit thing? High point of a trip to Italy. Mount Etna, so literal high point. I think that's probably right. Hold your horses. Wait. Halt. No, it could be either one of those. You may be white or naked. I mean, well, I guess halt doesn't look very likely. 2 L's, so probably an I. So this is probably wait. So what's this? Lips. Rainbow to some. An omen. Lies. White lies or naked lies. That's what that is. Okay, so rainbow could be an omen. Could be a sign. I don't think I know this basketball player's name. Dining place. What are their dining places? Don't know what that's about. Blank are like sausages. It is better not to see them being made. Quote attributed to Otto von Bismarck. Laws, maybe? Sounds like something Bismarck would say. Brings an action against. Sues, like legal action. Orchestra tuner. An oboe. In terms of setting the note for others, by which others can tune their instruments. Oh, I just don't know this name. Dining. What on earth are this is baffling to me, this dining places thing. Why can I not think what this would be? Dining places. It must be so obvious. Gridiron game for young tykes. Oh. Oh, I forgot about the doubled letters. Right, this will be something ball. Right, okay, and this will have... that's why I couldn't figure out what this is. They're dining halls. I completely forgot about the quadruple double after being pleased with myself for getting the revealer around it. Okay, so there we go. So we have Olajuwon, Hakeem Olajuwon. That must be right. I mean, as you know, I don't know sports players very well, unfortunately, although I did get Mia Hamm, and that did help me solve that's a pretty widely known name. Anyway, writer Capote to friends. Truman Capote. True. Went by True. I'm wondering. No, they're not. Okay, I was wondering if the double letters were going to be in the same positions, but obviously they're not, because there's no double letter here or here. Okay, but we still need to get 3 more into this. Something ball. Something football, presumably. So this will be a doubled O. Yes, cries of wonders are oohs. And so this will be F for football, and then I don't know what kind for young tykes. Blank white light bulb specification. Don't know. Risks and interceptions say. Something throws? Where are these again? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, risks and interceptions say. Long throws? But you wouldn't use that as a verb. You wouldn't say, oh, he risks an interception. He long throws. I don't think, anyway. Edible part of okra, the pod. Just say no to, deny. Guarded, cagey. Blank Wister, the so-called father of Western fiction. I have no clue. Tick off. ire, annoy, tick off. Or it could be tick off as in complete a task. Okay, I don't know. What you have to pony up to play, question mark, ante, like to play poker? Blank white light bulb specification. Huh. I don't know what that is. Motor oil brand, STP. Oh, soft white. Okay, yeah. What you have to pony up to play. Oh, polo. Whoa, okay. You have to literally get on the back of, in this case, a pony, I guess, to play polo. Right, the sport of kings, as I think it's been called. Tick off. I'm not sure. Blank Worcester, yeah, I don't. Owen, maybe? Does that? Oh, Pee-wee football. I have heard of that. Pee-wee. Okay, good. I'm glad I typed in W for Owen. I don't know that I would have thought of that otherwise. So to tick someone off is to peeve them. Right, okay. And then overthrows is to risk an interception. I see, okay. And then if you're guarded, you're leery. You're a bit skeptical. Okay, good. This is working. Exemplar of excellence. And there could be a double letter here. Oscars VIPs, MCs, who masters of ceremonies. Exemplar of excellence. It adds power to as an engine. Something up. Oh, soups up? Like modifies it? Told you're on, for example. You cued someone. You told them you're on. Stone used in ancient Greek jewelry. Lapis lazuli. What stone used in ancient Greek jewelry? Don't know. Owned up, fessed up, and that could be a doubled S. That could work. You can go anywhere with one of these. Some kind of pass. I'll come back to that. Have one's feet up, maybe, to loaf, to lie around. Exemplar of excellence. Oh, class act. That could have a double S. Okay, so you can go anywhere with one of these. I don't know, some kind of universal pass. I don't know what it is in this case. Agate, maybe, is the stone used in ancient Greek jewelry. And a low pressure indicator is a tire gauge, maybe? Like low tire pressure. Pick up something is to get it, to pick it up in the sense that you understand it, as we had to do with this theme. Briefly experienced with of, had a taste of. They draw people. Not sure. Ticked off. This looks like an adjective rather than a verb in this case, probably. Ticked off. I'm not sure. Weeping giant. Don't know what that means. What does that mean? Playground, question mark. Right. Oh, right. And some of these are two of these are going to be double letters. Maybe this one. Ticked off. Okay. Do laps say swim, maybe, if it would fit in 4 letters? They draw people. What is that? Ticked off. Irate? Maybe this isn't had a taste. Is it? Briefly experienced. Irate. Briefly experienced. I don't know. Weeping giant. Oh, weeping willow? Like a tree? Oops. A large tree? Playground. Huh. Sheep. Oh, sheep. Right. They're female sheep. They're ewes. Maybe this is irate. Got a taste is briefly experienced. That's what it is. Playground is a stage, the ground on which a play is held. Okay, so you can go anywhere with one of these. All access pass. And this is our last double letter to finish off our quadruple double. And then Meccas draw people, right, as in literally the actual city of Mecca, the site of Islamic pilgrimage, or a Mecca, a kind of site of pilgrimage for some other concept. So there we go. that was the Thursday crossword. There we go. All right. So, yeah, this is definitely a theme where you'd have to have been familiar enough with New York Times crosswords to understand that you might have to end up doing something like this, because you wouldn't necessarily think it if you hadn't experienced this kind of thing before. And I'm pretty pleased with myself for getting quadruple double. I don't know what it actually means. 4 2-point shots in succession. I don't know. And then NBA great great Hakeem Olajuwon. I guess it could be Olajuwon Hakeem. It looks like Hakeem Olajuwon to me, but I don't know. Is one who's one of only 4 players ever to achieve it. So it's got to be something extremely difficult and rare. Only one of 4 players ever to have achieved it in 1990. I'll have to look it up. But it has been achieved very few times. And in this grid, it was only achieved 3 times. In ad hoc committee, all access pass, and Pee Wee football. Well done finding these 3 examples that can fit in the grid in this nice symmetrical way. And we can see that's probably why, well, not probably, that's certainly why the grid had this version of symmetry in order for it to be sort of traditionally rotationally symmetrical. I guess we would have needed one more of these, I guess, so that they could have, there could have been a symmetrical number of them that mirrored one another. Anyway, there we go. That was the Thursday crossword. Let me know how you fared with this one, when you got onto the theme, how long it took, and what triggered it. I think for me, it was a combination of Mia Hamm and Occam, of Occam's Razor. Those 2 names. And let me know in the comments or the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community linked in the description field where you can share these thoughts. I'm always curious. And it is, of course, a big help if you subscribe to the channel. Thanks to everybody who does that on YouTube. And I'll be back tomorrow to solve a Friday puzzle. No theme, no doubled letters, no rebus, we assume. Just solving. So do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.